have seen our first guest perform on Comedy Central, and he's been a writer on hit shows like Dave, Resident Alien, and Jimmy Kimmel Live. We welcome to Afternoon Live comedian Biniam Bizuneh. Thank you for being here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Welcome to Portland.
I'm excited to be here.
You've been here before, but it's been a while.
Yeah, I think the last time I was here was 2017. So
okay.
It's been 8 years.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
We're happy to have you.
And I am happy to be here.
You're busy. We just talked about all those shows that you've written on, but you're back on the road doing stand-up. That must be so fun.
Oh man, I feel so lucky for someone who has ADD like me to be able to switch between things. Or now you're right, now you're performing.
Totally.
Now you're in Portland, now you're in Mexico City. That's where I was last weekend.
So helpful.
It's pretty fun.
I want to talk to you about Dave because that show is just incredible. I was just asking you, what's the deal with season 4? Because we all want to know, but.
Well, look, you know, I think it's up to Dave. Basically, he's got an open deal with FX. Like, if they're like, hey, whenever you have a thing. So, you know, we're not. There's no door closed, or it's just kind of like, oh, if he decides he wants to.
Once you get Brad Pitt to do a mega finale with you, I mean, it's kind of hard to come back from
That's what I was saying. It was like, we kind of ended it with like, okay, we got Brad Pitt and Drake in the finale. What are they going to do, go to space?
And a television show, like Brad Pitt and Rachel McAdams doing TV is insane. But I was reading about, it seems like it's such an industry beloved show that all these celebrities booked it because they just love the show to begin with.
Yeah, I think a way that he got most of the people was just DMing them, you know? Or they had DM'd him before, been like, I really like your show. So he just responds to it like, you want to do it?
Oh my gosh.
Like, it was crazy to me. I was like, oh, everything is everything. Like the way that I DM a random comedian I know in LA to do a show with 10 people at it is the same way Dave gets Brad Pitt to do a TV show. It's just like a higher level of the same thing.
That's so awesome. Well, and it sounds like it must have been a pretty incredible writer's room too.
Oh yeah, it's such a group of really funny people, and it was so like democratic of just like whoever says the funniest thing, like not a lot of super hierarchy, just kind of like, hey, you've got the best thing, whatever, you know. So I learned so much in it and feel so. And the guy who's the co-creator was Jeff Schaffer, who also is the director and writes all the episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David.
Awesome.
So, and he did Seinfeld and The League, and so he's just like royalty as well. So to have both those guys, I felt like I learned a lot.
That's so cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and how different is something like that where you're doing a series that's taking these crazy big swings and then working on Kimmel, which is every night you got to come up with something.
On Kimmel, it was like you get an email in the morning, like I think it was like at 7:50 or something, or maybe 7 a.m., and it would be a list of topics, and you just have to write like crazy until you'd have to turn it in at like 8:50.
Yeah, that's it.
And then you drive into work, and then they would tell you, did your sketch get chosen? If not, write more jokes. And so it was such a like work for your dinner type of thing.
Totally.
And then sometimes you get an email in the middle of the day. It's like, we need 3 things for the Jimmy and the Rock to do at the zoo. Go. And you're like, we need it by 2. And you're like, and you're just writing things down.
Yeah.
So sometimes, it wouldn't always be the best things you submit, but it taught me to not be precious.
Right.
And I think, like there's that thing they always say about Saturday Night Live, like the show doesn't happen because it's ready. It happens because it's Saturday night at 10:30 or whatever.
And your last best thing, who cares? You have to do another one tomorrow. So.
Exactly. So I think like that is a good thing for any creative to like, because if you get stuck in the needing to be perfect, you'll never do anything.
No,
and you know what it's like on here. Like you got to do a show every day.
Tomorrow.
Right?
Yeah. There's no, I mean Monday, I guess, but.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about. I mean, your family must be so proud of you.
I mean, when I did Jimmy Kimmel Live. That was when they stopped asking me to go back to grad school because they had heard of that.
Sure.
So then they could tell their friends, hey, our friend did this thing you've heard of, you know, but like before that, every time I talked to them, it was just like, you really could be a good journalist, you know? They want me to be doing what you're doing.
That's so funny.
But yeah, after I called my dad to tell him that I got staffed on Jimmy Kimmel, he made the funniest joke. He was just like, wow, now you'll have enough money to pay for grad school.
Oh, that is so funny.
He's hilarious. And he was kind of serious.
Totally.
He's like, still, you need a backup? These are 13-week contracts. You never know, you know.
Just a practical guy.
Yeah.
When it sounds like they, did a lot for you and your siblings to give you guys a pretty incredible life. And you've got some adorable nieces and nephews, too.
Yeah.
You're the cool uncle, I think.
I'm definitely so my nieces and nephews live in Hawaii on the Big Island.
Oh, nice.
And then in North Carolina.
Okay.
So I see them probably like 4 or 5 times a year, and every time I just get to dip in and give gifts and then be like, all right, bye.
That's so fun.
It's the easy thing, but I wish I could be closer.
I know.
Do you have nieces and nephews?
I've only got a couple, but I was a mom first.
Oh.
So I have my own to deal with.
Okay,
I couldn't be the cool auntie yet, so I'm jealous of that. I think that's so cool.
I get to just be like the person who just, for, you know, a weekend, I get to pretend to be a parent while I babysit. And then I go like, all right, back to my no responsibilities life.
Exactly. Well, they
fun.
see you do cool stuff on TV, and they're like, that's my uncle, guys. Not to brag.
You know, I sometimes think I'm cool, and then I'll talk to them,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're like, I've never heard of Jimmy Kimmel.
That's true.
Call
They
me when you do
us.
something with Kai Cenat. And I'm like, okay. So
They're
it's
like,
good
do
to
you
get,
know Bluey?
Exactly. Yeah, it's good to get humbled. You know.
That's so funny. You have some really funny bits about your parents trying to do some nice American traditions for you, like the tooth fairy.
Yeah,
but just not quite getting it exactly right. But I think that's so sweet.
Yeah, it's like when there's people who are immigrants to the country,
Yeah.
they want to assimilate, but no one gives you like a guidebook on the way to do it. You know, so my dad would try his best, but for instance, when it was like I would lose a tooth as a kid, there was no tooth fairy. It would just be me handing my dad a tooth, and he would hand me $1.
That's so funny.
We were just doing a business transaction. I was just like selling my dad baby teeth.
Right?
And you know, in his book, he's like, I did it. That's the thing.
You
Give
got
him
it,
the
Dad.
tooth. Like the whole part of like you put it under the pillow and it's supposed to be a
Yes.
secret. Like that wasn't really communicated to him.
But you know what? As someone who has done the sneaking in to do the tooth fairy, your dad's method makes a lot more sense.
And you know, I'm a pretty, some would say, overly logical person.
Yeah.
And I think I got that from my dad because I think he's like, the point of it is I get the tooth, you get the $1.
There you go.
We did it, right?
Why do we have to make it more complicated?
Yeah, why don't we just cut out the middleman? So like, for instance, one time, you know how they do like a Secret Santa thing at work?
Yes.
And you're supposed to give people gifts that are like $20 and under or something like that. One time I gave someone a $20 bill.
Oh.
And they acted like I was
no.
insane. And I'm like, isn't this the
How
best
dare
gift you could
It's
get?
the best case scenario.
I just gave him an envelope and inside was a $20 bill. And I'm like, this is literally the best gift. You'd rather this than a $20 Starbucks gift card because
Right.
I'm giving you full freedom.
Maximum budget.
Yeah.
I see where you're going.
So I think I got that from my dad.
I love it.
You know?
I love it. Hey, thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Thank
We're
you
so happy
much
that you're
for
here this
having me.
weekend.
Yeah,
this is
I'm
so
excited
fun.
to be here. Come out to the shows.
Come out to Helium. Let's everyone know Biniam is performing at Helium tonight and tomorrow. We'll have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.